So, today would have been my dad's 89th birthday, so I thought I would make a cocktail that would remember him. And it was a bit tricky actually, because he was a gin and bitter lemon drinker, and really if I'm going to do a how to make a cocktail video for a gin and bitter lemon, it's going to be, oh, put ice in glass, add gin, add bitter lemon and a slice of lemon, drink. You know, it's not going to be a very long video, although I could have probably got a couple of stories in there. No, I wanted something a bit different. And so what I did first of all was I stuck on one of his favourite pieces of music, which is by Rodrigo, and it's the Concierto de Aranjuez, but my dad always called it the orange juice concert. You know, he did speak Spanish somewhat, but he called it that, and that was quite funny. So I thought, well, let's have something with orange juice in it. And then the other thing about my dad is that he did his national service with the military in Libya. And he did spend 2 years there, and he would often say at family gatherings, "Did I ever tell you about my time in the desert?" And apart from saying it was hot, he didn't really say anything about it at all, which was, yeah, I guess that was kind of interesting, but it was a kind of family joke as well. So it then became fairly easy for me to come up with a cocktail which would have orange juice in it, but also remind us of that sandy Qatar depression that in the movie Ice Cold in Alex, they have to drive across in an ambulance. And it is the Blood and Sand, which was actually named after a bullfighting movie with Rudolph Valentino, a silent one in 1922. I'm not sure how appropriate that is, but my dad really did like Spain and Spanish, and he taught us at an early age how to say "where is the sun, donde está el sol," and all of us remember that very clearly. So anyway, let's get to it. It's a whiskey drink, and I'm going to use Teacher's as a blended. It's a blended Scotch whiskey drink, and it's very easy to remember. All the proportions are exactly the same. Teacher's, which my grandmother used to enjoy drinking, so this kind of makes sense in a family sort of way as well. We have 1 ounce of that. And then it's going to be 1 ounce of sweet vermouth, which will make it that sort of slightly reddy colour as well, as will the next ingredient, cherry brandy. I'm hearing cherry brandy. I do remember my parents used to have cherry brandy in the house when I was growing up. Didn't have many spirits in the house at all, but this was one of them. But I don't think they drank this cocktail somehow. But anyway, we have 1 ounce of this as well. And then the final ingredient, I went against all my own rules. I had an orange and I squeezed some orange juice, and it's 1 ounce of fresh orange juice. I did not have a blood orange, which would have been the right one to have, but this is a regular navel orange, which my dad loved navel oranges, so this also seems quite appropriate. And we pour, I made just about enough, that's perfect. We put that all into there, we give it a shake. And you'll even notice the shirt I'm wearing for this. My dad famously liked deck chair shirts and multicolour. I only had blue and white, so it's a little bit of a monochrome one, but nonetheless. Anyway, you pour this drink, strain it into your chilled cocktail glass. And there we go. Oh, so I see why it's called this name. It's really does look a little bit like blood in the sand, actually. For those of you that ever cut your toes or your feet on the beach, maybe the sand went this colour. And then the only garnish we have here is a little bit of orange. There we go. And let's see what we've got. That is excellent. Cheers, Dad.